Hey everybody, I'm Bella and I'm just a kid who likes movies. I'm also a kid who thinks CGI is changing the way movies are made. Are these good changes or bad changes? That's what I'm here to talk about. Now before we begin, I just want to say something. I probably have a pretty big bias when it comes to this stuff. I am a monster kid. I have been a fan of practical effects for like half my life. When I was 7, I discovered the work of Rick Baker. Okay, really quick guys, for anyone who doesn't know, here's a crash course. Rick Baker started out just being a kid who really likes things. But he didn't quit, he kept going. He went on to be mentored by the legendary Dick Smith. He pioneered groundbreaking effects techniques and won a lot of trophies. He basically changed movies forever. By the way kids, this is how you accept an Academy Award. I do this face all the time. Now obsessed is a strong word, but I guess it fits. But that's okay guys, because it led to me making this, which led to this, which led me actually getting to meet him. Since then, he's helped me so much. He's given me his time, advice, and encouragement. He is my mentor and my friend, and there is no topping him in my book. So yeah, I might be a bit biased, but I don't think that makes me wrong. So I'm going to present you with my point of view so you can decide yourself. Shall we begin?
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Alright guys, don't think I'm one of those people who just hates on CG. I'm not. When it works, it could be really cool. For example, anything in Avengers, The Force Awakens, Prometheus, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's really cool for outer space or scenes of destruction. Not to mention, it's safer. I bet poor Boris Karloff wanted some digital flames when he almost burned to death filming Frankenstein. CG is great in small and clever ways too. Superman's cape, Wolverine's claws, Furiosa's hand. There's probably so many things that are done so well that we don't even notice. Now, I'm not a movie expert. I'm just a kid. I don't want to seem like I know everything. In fact, I don't know a lot of things. Most things, in fact. All I'm trying to do is use my kid brain and my kid logic to understand these decisions. Especially when it comes to how CG is being used. I just don't get it. Alright, well, because I'm not a word expert, we're gonna use a metaphor. So I have thick hair, and sometimes it gets knotted. So let's say I got this fancy hairbrush. It was really expensive, but for brushing my hair, there is nothing better. So great. I am definitely gonna use this to brush my hair. But I feel like if I was a movie producer, it would be more like, whoa, are you okay? You look like you're gonna freak out. I love this thing. Well, that's good. I'm gonna use it for everything. Wait, what? I'm gonna eat my food with this. Wash my face with it. Brush my teeth with it. Whoa, I'm glad you're excited, but we got other things for this. We got forks, we got toothbrushes, they're time tested, we know they work. No, I want to use this. So then, as an audience, we get this. And it's just weird. When I first saw weird CG in movies, my first thought was, well, I guess they're saving money. Because it must be cheaper than practical effects. However, I recently found out that CG is not cheaper.
What?
It is in fact the opposite of cheaper.
Oh my God!
There's always exceptions. But generally, I like creatures to actually be there. Now here's an example. These two new remakes, Kong and Beauty and the Beast. Now remakes are tough. Expectations are hard, and I've never met a Kong movie that I didn't like. In fact, I love some of them. So my hopes were high, and it was fun. Kong and the other monsters, they were animated, but there were other things going on, like explosions and fun people and Creedence Clearwater. It was fun. And then we have the new Beauty and the Beast. This is not an action-packed blowout. It's a love story. So when I heard that the Beast was going to be CG, I was bummed, because I thought this story would be a great chance to show what practical effects can do today. Don't get me wrong, I really love the new movie. The characters, the sets. I just wish Belle and the Beast lived in the same space-time. It's not like at the end of the Beauty and the Beast animated movie, Beast turned into a live-action actor. That would have been really weird. So why did we have an animated Beast in a live-action movie? You know what the problem is? He looks like he doesn't smell bad. I mean, he talks nice, dresses nice, he has a pretty good castle. Of course Belle's gonna fall in love with this guy. That's not surprising. Do you know what would be surprising? Seeing someone fall in love with this guy. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but this is Beauty and the Beast from 1946. First of all, this guy looks like he smells really bad. His hair probably smells like a wet dog. His breath is most likely nasty. He probably sounds creepy. I mean, he looks creepy. And he is obviously kind of a jerk. He makes Belle walk around with a crown that is way too small for her head. Guys, Beauty and the Beast is not a new story. Spoilers! Belle falls in love with the Beast. That's just how it ends. But I'm just way more interested to see how Belle could fall in love with this. I'm just bummed because it was a great opportunity for practical effects to shine. But instead, Disney went for the more expensive, less awesome option. Now, I just want to say CG is not at fault. It's not the artist's fault or the software's fault. It is whoever is making decisions like this. You might think I'm exaggerating with this metaphor, or you might think I'm just too biased to judge. Maybe you're right. I don't think you are, but you could be. So we're gonna settle this like nerds, with a good old-fashioned versus battle. Now, to be fair, I'm only going to talk about older movies before CG and their remakes. Apollo, whenever you're ready.
Ding, ding.
Indiana Jones. Raiders versus Crystal Skull. My favorite Indiana Jones movie is Temple of Doom. Go figure, right? But as an example, I'm going to use the fight scene from Raiders. This is a great fight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. As far as effects go, there's little fake blood and some bruise makeup. It's not much, but it's fun. And it ends with a Nazi walking to an airplane propeller. Win-win! And then there's this fight from Crystal Skull. And the sad thing is, this is also a great fight. It's such a shame they keep cutting away from it. Why are the cartoon bugs taking over indie screen time? Is a hand-to-hand showdown not cool enough? I guess not, because they felt like the bad guy should be drowning in ants. It's just weird. Look, if that was Lucas or Spielberg's vision, and they had to do it, they should have done it with real ants. And if you say, Bella, they can't do that with real bugs, I suggest you go on Google and Google bug scene from Creepshow, or Candyman, or Temple of Doom. Hello? And that was only 2 movies ago. They did it then, but today, no, it's impossible. This is awesome. This, not so much. Ghostbusters. I love this movie. The ghosts from the '84 Ghostbusters were so freaking cool. They were interesting and all different, but in the new one, they look like they come from either the green dimension or the blue dimension. That's it. That's not really the CG's fault. I guess it's just not a creative design. So for the effects, let's look at the finale for both movies. Awesome, awesome. Now here, you can see some green screen lines around Mr. Stay Puft. But at least he looks like he exists in the same time and space. He's standing on the same street the guys were just on. And then here in the new one, the girls are on the street in New York, ready for the showdown. Where is this? I'm sorry, but I do not believe that this is a reverse shot of this. And then there's also this shot. This is amazing. This is just weird. American Werewolf in London versus American Werewolf in Paris.
The power of darkness? It's all true. The undead surround me. Have you ever talked to a corpse? It's boring.
Cursed to walk the earth as a restless spirit. To the werewolf that did me dies.
Remember, not cheaper. Fright Night. I love this movie. The practical effects are creative and incredible. In the remake, I just really don't get it. I realize that physical effects has its limitations, and with CG they can practically do anything. But can they though? I guess everything's a trade-off, but I mean, look what we're trading. Let's look at Jerry's transformations. In this scene, Jerry the vampire is trying to kill the guy, Charlie. And at the last minute, Charlie grabs a pencil and stabs him in the hand. Then we get the reveal of his monster hand. By the way, that's not a fake hand, because he moves his fingers. How did they do that? Anyway, Jerry turns around and we get to see what he is. And it's amazing! A practical effects masterpiece. Just because I didn't see it happen in camera doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, hey, who is this? Why is he wearing Jerry's clothes? What's going on? Now look at Jerry's transformation from the remake.
Hey! Charlie!
Okay, I guess that's something that couldn't have been done practically. But I can tell that it's not really there. And it reminds me that these are actors, and this is a movie. Is that a good trade-off?
Ding, ding.
Now, I saved the worst for last. These next three examples are really horrible. The practical effects were already there. Somebody made the decision to digitally cover them up or replace them. Number 1, Cursed. When I first saw Cursed, I just saw it on TV one day and it was pretty funny. And when the werewolf transformation happened, I thought, well, it's a funny movie. maybe it's supposed to look dumb. Then I found this tweet on Rick Baker's Twitter page. What? They hired Rick Baker to do this movie? How amazing would this have been? But instead of this, they went with this. And instead of this, they went with this. And so yeah, these are decisions that were made. Again, not cheaper. The Thing remake. John Carpenter's The Thing, like American Werewolf and The Fly, was a big practical effects deal. So they hired the effects company ADI for the remake. And these guys were so excited to pay tribute to Rob Bottin. It's crazy, they made amazing things. Some of the things these guys made, I didn't even know was possible to do. And that's really sad. Anyway, they poured their blood and sweat into this and made miracles from absolutely nothing. And then the studio decided to cover up everything with CG. And you think maybe the practical effects just weren't cutting it? Well, you tell me. And I'm not making this up. These were decisions that were made. The Wolfman. This was actually a fun movie. I really liked it. Hey guys, look what I got. See what I got? There's this werewolf versus werewolf fight in a burning building. It's a crazy and ridiculous scene and it's awesome. But the transformations were done with CGI. Even though they had Rick Baker on board. So I just assumed that the people had planned on CGI before they even started. But now, I don't think so. Because last year I was going to this makeup thing with Mr. Rick and Miss Sylvia. I was talking to him about the Wolfman. I said I liked it, but the transformations were kind of, you know. And he said, yeah, I know. And I said, but the hand part, that was a cool idea. And he said, yeah, that was my idea. We built that rig. So many questions. So they built that? First of all, how would you build that practically? To me, that seems impossible. But then again, that's what these people do. They make you say, whoa, wait, how'd they do that? That's impossible. They're like freaking wizards. Anyway, that means he did do some of the transformation stuff, but the movie people decided not to go with that. Instead, they thought this would be better. What? What is this?
No, God!
I
No, God, please, no! No! No!
Ugh, I am so tired of this PS3 video game garbage in my movies. I understand that practical effects has many limitations compared to CGI. And I guess movie makers want to feel prepared? I mean, tools like storyboarding have been around for like ever. By the way, storyboarding is like making your movie a comic before shooting. So then you can show everyone exactly what your vision is and tell them what to do. Alfred Hitchcock used to storyboard his movies to death. It drove his people nuts. But you know what? His movies looked amazing. I guess that's not done much these days, and I think it's because of CGI. And again, I'm not talking about the artists. They're talented people, don't hate on them. They work hard, in fact, very hard. And it's not their fault. It's the movie makers deciding that they don't need a vision or a plan. There's this thing they say, it's okay, we'll fix it in post. And that means they don't want to fix the problem now because they're like tired or whatever and they want to go home. So they just tell themselves they can fix it later with CG or something. And it's that we'll fix it in post way of thinking that is the problem. I just feel like words are hard. Okay, Bela metaphor time! Have you guys ever seen like a trapeze act at like the circus? Well, I have. And let me tell you, it's all fun and games until that safety net drops. Then things get serious. And you can tell in their like facial expressions and their posture. There is no B game, only A game. Because the safety net is gone, they have to focus and give it their all. They had to put all of their skills and abilities into this task. And they did it. And it was amazing. I feel like movie makers are using CGI like a safety net instead of a tool. Before CGI, there was no safety net. They either accomplished their goal or they didn't.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
And that's why films like American Werewolf, The Fly, and Alien were so amazing. Because you look at those guys and think, wow, they really did it. And you respect them more because you know they had no safety net. But today they don't need a clear vision or a plan. They can just fix it in post. And that way of thinking is what is making our movies lame. And I don't think they're going to get any better. But that's okay, and I'm going to tell you why. So, movie makers today want to forget the old ways, so they can make big, shiny, stupid, dumb, huge blockbusters. That's the future. And I say they can have it. Okay, so you don't have an expensive CG software, but you know what I bet you do have? Food coloring in a frying pan! And that's how Stanley Kubrick made this scene from 2001: A Space Odyssey. We can make our own movies. It's so easy now. Just get your device, buy a selfie stick. Wait, no, those are expensive. You know what, go outside and get a regular stick and just tape it to your device. Tape it to your device, put it on wheels, and bam, you have a dolly. And as far as supplies go, you probably have all the supplies you need in your kitchen pantry right now. And you have YouTube, and Alexa, and Google. You could ask those anything. And you have me. I don't know many tricks, but the ones I do know are pretty cool. And I'm making videos to show you guys so you can do them too. We could learn together. What I'm saying is, it's up to us.
I'm not gonna take this!
The future is ours, not theirs. It can be whatever we want.
Nothing is over until we decide it is!
We are the storytellers and the magic makers of tomorrow.
Who's with me?
So, let's make some movies.